Welcome to Lethal League Blaze!
Hey everyone, welcome back, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of barSILENCE. My name is Jameson, and I'm your host. Every episode of this show aims to explore the very best video game music from past and present. If you're new to the show, you can head over to barsilence.com where you can listen to past episodes, see track listings, and find an easy link to subscribe on whatever your favorite podcatcher is. You can also listen on 8beats Radio, where the show plays live on the first Tuesday of every month. Check it out at 8beats.co, or check out the show notes for a link to 8beats, and then tune into excellent video game music 24/7 around the clock. In this episode, we're going to be listening to the absolutely bombastic and wicked good soundtracks to Lethal League, released in 2014, and its 2018 sequel, Lethal League Blaze. If you haven't heard of Lethal League before, that's okay. I actually ended up discovering this game first through its incredible soundtrack, and I can say that it is certifiably the funkiest fighting game you should really check out. The original Lethal League was first released in 2014 for PC, and it eventually made its way to PS4 and Xbox One in 2017. This cult favorite series is essentially a projectile-based fighting game with ridiculously fast gameplay that's easy to pick up, but extremely hard to master. The first Lethal League game started out as a prototype browser-based game of the same name, where players would use a single projectile as the main means of attack. So, unlike other fighting games, you did not directly attack your opponent. Instead, you can move freely around these single-screen stages as you hit an anti-gravity ball as a relentless weapon, making it hurtle and bounce its way across the stage to take down your foes. You could attempt to summarize this game as a combination of both dodgeball and tennis, but that might be oversimplifying it. What makes this game both really fun and challenging is how players can use angles and a combination of hitting and bunting to change the speed of the ball in order to catch your opponents off guard with a single hit to knock them off the screen. And for a game with such a unique battle system, it wouldn't be complete without a colorful cast of characters. To name a few of them, you have Raptor, who's kinda dressed like a baseball player, and then there's Switch, who's a sweet skateboarding robot, and then there's Latch, who's a cyborg crocodile with a mechanical tail, and of course, there's the tap-dancing crazy fellow with the big yellow head called Candyman. All of these characters are beautifully rendered in the game's unique art style that was developed by Team Reptile, who are located in the Netherlands. Their love and affection for the unique and expressive has also given the world games like Megabyte Punch and the upcoming Jet Set Radio-inspired game called Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. Needless to say, this is a studio who cares deeply about presentation and style, and the soundtrack was clearly a major focus of their plans for this game. So let's talk a little bit about the song that opened today's show. This track is called Beverly Chills, which appeared in Lethal League Blaze and was created by the French producer named Aaron Evo. This song's style has such a unique and cool feeling to it that I honestly couldn't think of a better choice to set the tone for this show. The next song we're going to hear comes from the first Lethal League and is called Re, or possibly Ray, by Zeroscar, who is a musician from Amsterdam. This track has an excellent downbeat and dark sound to it that I really like. We'll follow that with 2 more tracks from Lethal League by the talented Danish composer, Dr. Lazer. First up, we'll hear the fantastic track called Headbangeren with its Atari-esque melody and cool use of orchestral elements. Following that, we'll hear his short but powerful track called Warp. Then finally, to close the block, we'll hear Urabon by the Italian musician called Grillo. This song also makes an appearance in Lethal League Blaze, so we'll hear that version as we wrap this set up. So enjoy these tracks, and I'll be back after that to talk about the sequel, Lethal League Blaze. In 2018, Team Reptile released Lethal League Blaze to Steam, and it was followed with the PS4, Switch, and Xbox One releases in 2019. This sequel continues the same goal of using kinetic force to ramp up the speeds of your anti-gravity ball, turning it into a supersonic projectile to take out your opponents. So in addition to new characters and stages, the game also changes out the one-hit kills of the original and adds a more standard health bar that can take fractional damage, making it more like a match. Only when the ball is moving at madness-inducing speeds can you get those one-hit KOs. The game also revamps parries, giving players the ability to grab or catch the ball and throw it. And it also adds items which can modify the ball's behavior and effects. So while the gameplay is freshly upgraded, it's technically both more complex and more forgiving than before, making for an entertaining and competitive yet tactical game that you can really dive into its intricacies as you attempt to master it. Now, the other noteworthy detail for this sequel is the addition of the story mode. The plot places characters in Shine City, where the anti-gravity ball game has been made illegal because one of the players died during a match. It was deemed too dangerous and was criminalized. The remaining players have moved their competition underground now in defiance of the tri-government of Shine City, and they continue to play in what's called the Lethal League. The music in this redefined vision of the game also receives a very style-heavy upgrade. 4 tracks from the previous game made its return to this sequel, and then Team Reptile introduced a host of new talent to take this game to the next level. For this upcoming music block, we're going to start things off with the funky breakbeat track featuring drums that will certainly get you moving, called Shred by B Bravo and Lean Rock. And then we're going to follow that with Nasty Lovers by The Sleepers Records featuring Nasty Den. This is a fantastic track that has some of that classic 70s inspired funk and also sweet guitar licks that I am sure you're going to enjoy. Following that one, we're going to change the pace up a bit with the track called Scream by Bignic, which is another one of those songs that returns from the first game. After that, we're going to slow things way down with the new track from Dr. Lazer called Thuggin. This song's gritty lead and the cool vocal samples that were taken from rapper John Wayne's release called Jump Shot combine in such an awesome way that makes this song a standout on this soundtrack. And then last, we're going to sonically pivot just one more time as we listen to the absolute ear candy of a grooving smooth house track called Snibbit by the Dutch composer Klaus Veen. So enjoy this awesome set of jams, and I'll be back again after that with more about Lethal League Blaze.
Are you ready? Play ball!
Another one of the things that made Lethal League Blaze a visual delight to play and watch is the stylistic evolution of the game's art direction. Stages in the game are now 2.5D environments, and the batch of lively and cool characters all now appear in a gloriously gorgeous cel-shaded art style. Rock Paper Shotgun said in their review that this is an extremely confident sequel that improves on just about every part of its predecessor. And the review from The Verge said that Lethal League Blaze is a game that feels like a distillation of the things I loved about games on the Sega Dreamcast. Personally, I could not agree more. Both the game's significant overhaul in gameplay and its lovingly crafted cel-shaded art style taps into the deepest parts of my love for the Sega Dreamcast and that era of exploration into tightly designed games that ooze creativity. Team Reptile not only absorbs the beautiful design aesthetics of Jet Set Radio, they also applied the lesson of making your musical selections a key component in making a fantastic game. And it does this in spades. The coolness factor of this game is undeniable, and the music itself is composed by incredibly talented musicians across the world who have created a vibe for this game that you can absolutely live in and enjoy outside of the game. So to make up our final block of tracks, we're going to listen to 3 spectacular artists that capstone this definitively excellent soundtrack. To start it off, we're going all in on the outright extraordinary and energetic track called Ain't Nothin' Like a Funky Beat by the CEO of Funky Fresh Beats himself, Hideki Naganuma. I think that the conceptual choice to include Naganuma, when paired with the art style of Lethal League Blaze, is a testament to the impact of his incredible and beloved work on the Jet Set Radio soundtrack. I covered that game back in episode 11, so go ahead and give that one a listen if you need a refresher on that game's amazing music. So to meet the challenge of following that absolutely mega track, we're going to hear Decible by the legendary Frank Klepacki. His addition to this soundtrack will likely remind fans of the chugging guitar work of the Command & Conquer Red Alert games. But this track delivers that distinct sound with a fresh style and just a touch of funk that fits flawlessly into the world of Shine City. And then to end this block, we're going to hear the absolutely powerhouse track called Killa Swing by the surreal futurist and ultra beat creator Pixelord. This one turns the coolness factor to 1000 and never lets up. So enjoy these tracks, and I'll be back after that.
3, 2, 1.
Give me one of them funky beats. Get that. Ain't nothing like a funky beat.
And that's the show. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode of barSILENCE about the music from Lethal League and Lethal League Blaze. If you want to interact with the show and tell me what you think about my selections in this episode, you can follow me on a variety of social media platforms. I am most active on Twitter at barSILENCEVGM. You can also check out the show notes to find links to follow the show on Tumblr and Instagram. That's where I'll be posting various information about the games featured in this episode. And, same as always, please consider taking a moment to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find this show, because I'd really love to hear what you think. Don't forget, you can go to barsilence.com to listen to past shows if you've missed any, and of course, if you're feeling giving, you can always support barSILENCE on Patreon. Check the show notes to find an easy link to contribute. And for already being Patreon subscribers of this show, I want to thank the members of the Legion of VGM. Zoe, Alusa, and Cameron. The three of you are truly excellent, and I cannot thank you enough for helping to keep this show going each month. You are all the best, and I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. I also want to thank friend of the show and fellow VGM podcaster Professor Tom of the Shujin Academy VGM Club as well. You can and should check out his show wherever you find podcasts, or head to the show notes and you can find a link to tune in there. Additional thanks also go to show sponsor Bold Pick and Specialty Pickles. You should absolutely check out this independently owned, flavor-forward pickle company. Head to boldpickens.com to see if you can find them in stores near you. So to end the show, I have a final track to play us out. This song is called Ordinary Days V2 by Klaus Veen that comes from Lethal League Blaze. This beautifully dancey remix of the original Ordinary Days from the first game is smooth like butter and is the jammiest of jams. So that's our show. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.
up. Thanks for playing.